What's up, guys? Josiah Novak with thetruetransformation.com. And this morning, it just came to me. I get questions all the time, but one of the number one questions I get is, how do I get motivated? How do I stay motivated? How do I wake up ready to go after my goals, ready to attack a game plan and feel like I'm full of energy and ready to push forward? How do I get motivated? So today's video, we're gonna break down a few steps, a few key things to remember when it comes to motivation, so that way moving forward, you never have to worry about it again. Let's get rocking. All right, guys, so the first thing to remember about motivation is that it's just an emotional feeling, right? Most people think of motivation as like an actual object that you can go buy at the store or order on Amazon or something like that, right? Like it's just something that somehow successful people have acquired. They've somehow found a way to stock up on motivation. And somehow successful people are motivated all the time. But emotion comes and goes, right? If you think of some of the most common emotions, sadness, happiness, anger, excitement, we don't always feel those things, right? Sometimes we get really pissed off. 20 minutes later, we're happy again. So emotional swings, it's like the ocean, the tide, right? Sometimes it's high tide, sometimes it's low tide. Same thing with motivation. Sometimes you wake up, and for whatever reason, you just can't explain it, you're super motivated. And then some days you wake up and you just want to lay in bed and don't want to do anything for the rest of the day. So it's important to remember that emotion comes and goes. So therefore, if we're trying to rely on an emotional state that isn't always going to be there, we're not always going to be motivated, well, that's our first mistake. We got to stop treating motivation as if it's always going to show up. If we're going to wake up every day and go, I'm ready to attack, I'm ready to go after my goals, I'm ready to do this, it's not always going to be the case. So understand, motivation is simply an emotional state. It's not always going to be high, it's not always going to be low. So the second thing to remember is that motivation is kind of bullshit. It's unreliable. It's almost like a false promise. You know, you get excited about a goal and you go, okay, I have a deadline, I'm gonna go after it, I'm gonna make this happen, this is my year. And you get that emotional buildup, and then all of a sudden a few days goes by and it's gone. So motivation's like that friend that promises they're gonna show up, and you keep believing them and you keep thinking, yeah, they're gonna come, they're gonna show up for me, they're gonna be there, and then they only show up when it's convenient for them. It's not when it's convenient for you or when you need it the most. It's only there when it's good for their time, their schedule. So motivation's bullshit. What we wanna focus on instead, ooh, that was a loud bird. That bird's motivated. So instead of focusing on motivation, we want to draw from self-belief. Belief that we can do what we set out to do, no matter what. And you might be thinking, well, I don't believe in myself at all. I've never achieved anything. This is my first time going after goals. This is my first time making moves. This is my first time trying to reach the next level. I've never done it before, so how can I believe in myself? Well, let me give you a clue. Look around. There's many people just like you, just like me, that have done incredible things. They didn't come from anything special. They didn't have some extraordinary IQ. Sure, there's some really smart people out there that have done absolutely outrageous things. But when it comes to just success in general, most of the people that you see reach levels of success that you want to get to, they just have a very strong sense of self-belief. But they also are able to draw from other success and go, you know what? If that person can do it, I believe I can do it too. That's the first thing. So kind of going along with that self-belief theme, where we're trying to build the belief in ourselves that we can actually do something so that we can start to feel excited and feel motivated to move forward. If you're not able to find people that resonate with you, that you go, okay, that person did it, so can I. Another way to build self-belief is to take action, to actually go out and start doing things, start working out more, start eating better, and you'll see that results start to happen. And when you start to get results, that's when self-belief starts to build. Because it's really hard to believe in something that hasn't taken place yet, right? Because it's like, it's just an idea. It's, you know, oh, I want to make $1 million, or I want to have a six-pack, or I want to be successful in whatever I'm doing. I've never done it before, more than likely. So it's hard to believe in it if you've never seen it or you've never achieved it before. So we have to start taking action to get quick wins, to get small wins along the way. It's like if you're climbing Mount Everest and you've never been to the top of Mount Everest, it's hard to believe that it's possible, right? You've seen other people do it, right? But you don't maybe know anyone who's done it. You've just seen pictures or videos of people who've done it. And you're like, I don't know. I've never done it before, so it's hard to draw from self-belief that I can do it. But as you start to climb the mountain and you reach certain levels of the mountain, so maybe the first level is 10,000 feet up, and you're like, that was tough, but I made it, so I can keep going. That gives you self-belief, gives you that thought of, you know what, I can do this. So that's the second way to draw more self-belief into your thought process. All right, so another way to build more belief, more drive to move forward is to set checkpoints along the way. We just talked about the Mount Everest example. Nobody goes and climbs Mount Everest in a day. In fact, it takes oftentimes well over months to climb a single mountain. And it's because they're not trying to tackle the whole thing in one big bite, right? How do you eat an elephant? Well, one small bite at a time, right? So if you're trying to get motivated to reach a massive goal, it's important to set checkpoints so that not only do you have more of a realistic, attainable next step, but you have something that you can reach and, once again, build more confidence that, hey, I made it to this point, I can make it to the next point, I can make it to the next point. Also, it sets a timeline, right? Most of us operate on I'll get it done whenever. I'll do it this year, or I'll do it next year, or I'll do it in the next 5 years. We got to start building more urgency, right? Urgency creates more action. We say, oh, I got to get this done in the next 30 days, or I got to get this done in the next 90 days. All right, so I'm going to start doing this now because I don't have as much time, right? Drawing from that urgency leads to more action, which, like I said before, leads to more small victories along the way, which leads to more self-belief, which leads to motivation. Got one more tip for you. So last tip, and this is just a real and honest truth. Try to always keep it real with you guys on this channel. I don't like to beat around the bush, just want to give it to you straight. So oftentimes you're gonna have to pull from something called grit. What is grit? Well, it's doing the hard shit. It's doing what you don't want to do. How do you do that though? Two ways to make it easier to do the things you don't want to do. One, get into character. We're all unique individuals. We all have our strengths and our weaknesses. But one thing you can do is you can get into character by saying, hey, I'm gonna be the person I wanna be, even if I'm not truly there yet. It's like an actor, right? It's like if I have to play a role on TV, I have to get into that character so deep that people believe that I'm that person. So what we're trying to do in this case is get ourselves to believe that we're that person, even if we're not 100% of the way there yet. So get into character and start saying, hey, I'm gonna start making decisions. I'm gonna start doing the things that the person I'm gonna be in the future would do. What would that person do right now if I was already there? What would that millionaire do? What would that guy who's ripped, who's got a great, business and family life and a great body and all the things that I want, what would that mom who's in great shape do? Because that's gonna be me soon. I should start acting like that right now. Get into character. The second thing to grit and bear it and just do the work is to start taking that feeling of like, damn, this is hard, I don't want to do it, turning into a signal that's your time to go forward. When you get that feeling of like, oh, I gotta go to the gym, oh, I gotta make a healthy meal, oh, I gotta skip the donuts, oh, I can't drink tonight because I'm trying to stick to my goals, that's a sign to move forward. That's a sign that you're on the right path. Use it as a positive. Say, yes, good, I'm glad this is hard, and now it's time to go forward. You have to start training your mind to think that way. And I guarantee when you do that, you'll start to have better results in terms of sticking to the things that you don't want to do, doing the work, and gritting your teeth, and just moving forward. So, hey guys, that's my quick play-by-play, my quick step guide on how to build more motivation. In fact, ditch motivation once and for all and focus exclusively on self-belief so you can reach the goals that you have for yourself, whether it's in fitness, family, business, wherever. If you enjoyed the video, please leave me a comment, let me know. Hit the little bell to get notified every time we release a video. And as always, subscribe to the channel if you find it valuable. Thanks so much for watching. Josiah Novak, thetruetransformation.com. Talk to you soon. Peace.